broadcast is presented by Rapid Racing League. Due to circumstances, the usual commentary team is not available, but we have something better.
And damn right we do. Welcome, race fans, to the Rapid Racing League's Formula One racing channel here on Twitch. As you heard from the little woman's voice on said computer, she says that the commentary team you usually expect is not here. Well, half of it's not here, but the other half is. Hi, I'm Big Cactus, and welcome to RRL's Division 1, Round 4 at Imola, and we have a special treat this evening because it is our first sprint weekend of the season. That's right. As you look on the bottom left-hand side of your screen, you'll see under where it says Social Play Imola, we have short qualifying this evening, followed by an 11-lap sprint race, and then a 32-lap main race, which would usually take place on a Sunday. Yeah, I see you, Benno. The best half is here. Damn right it is. Damn right it is. Anyway, we're waiting on just a few more people to get here, and then I think we're going to be getting underway. Kahoot, where is Kahoot? Has Kahoot made it in yet? Yes, he has. Very good. He's sitting in his Alpine. But he has said that after turn 1, depending on how it goes, he may be joining me in the commentary box this evening. It does look like, though, as long as everything goes to plan, I will be in the booth by myself this evening. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the cool gadgets or anything that Pajala has, so you won't be able to see any of the amazing rapid replays or spin to wins or anything like that this weekend, you won't be able to see that today or next week. Pajala is out on business trip, vacation. I mean, who really cares? He's just not here. So, looks like we're about to ready up and get going here. But like I said, it's the first sprint weekend of the season. So we'll do qualifying, and that will set the grid order for today's sprint race. The sprint race will then be an 11-lap dash with no pit stops unless someone takes damage. But if there's a safety car, there could possibly be pit stops, and that could be crucial. But for those of you that are new to Formula One and don't quite understand the sprint race weekend format, the reason we have a sprint race is because some hobknocker way up in the FIA decided that we should have more on-track action during the weekend. So they decided to make a short race between qualifying and the main race that'll make it to where they have to be on track running together all at once. Basically, wherever you start, you want to try to gain as many positions as possible, just like a normal race, and finish as high as possible. The finishing order from the sprint race will set the grid for the main race, which will take place just after the sprint. As you can see now, we are loading in, and I will be taking breaks here and there. Redeemed a hot lap. Right on, Benno. Put it in the chat who you want a hot lap with. Left 4 Dead. All right, well, hopefully we have more luck with that this week. We will get Daryl. I will find Daryl. I think Daryl's actually in my child's room helping put him down for a nap. But we'll check in and see if I can get Daryl for a hot lap with Left 4 Dead. It's going to be crazy this weekend. Remember, Yarno is not here, so don't waste your points redeeming anything with Yarno. We've already had one redeem for Daryl with Left 4 Dead, so that's it. No more redeems, so nobody go wasting your points on anything. But we are here. We can now see the beautiful pit lane here at Imola, and let's just get some of our details up and our telemetry up, and we will start getting laps here in just a few minutes. All the drivers now getting their setups on the car, making the final tunes, and then we will be getting underway. And Benno, since you're watching, I've been having issues with my mic, mate. If you could do me a favor, if you start to hear any buzzing or anything like that coming through into the stream, just type the word buzz into the chat for me, would you? I'd appreciate it. All right, and we now have 2 cars headed out onto the racetrack, and Aston Martin That's going to be the Aston Martin of Chrissy heading out down into turn 1, and I believe the McLaren is Hugh Daff. Yeah, Hugh Daff in the McLaren is now headed out onto the race circuit. Let's just take a ride along on board here with the McLaren during this outlap. Give everybody a chance to take a look at this beautiful Imola racing circuit. So 2 chicanes really start off this lap. You have the long front straightaway, which leads to the turn 1-2 chicane. Then you have a kink, which is turn 3 onto a short shoot straightaway, which then goes to turns 4 and 5, which is another left-right chicane. Very fast though, and it's a chicane that'll catch you out because of how it's set up. You actually have to carry a lot more speed into the first turn, which is turn 5, and then allow that speed to roll through into turn 6, and possibly hitting the brake pedal again. Then you make your way to the hairpin, which is a hairpin left. You make your way out of that up a hill to a long sweeping double apex left-hander downhill, then into a very tricky right-hander and an uphill exit out of that right-hander to another chicane, but it's the only chicane on the circuit that's set up as a right-left. Then you make the run down the hill as we see Hugh Daff now into the penultimate corner. Very tricky braking zone, but you can go very deep there. And we'll just go ahead and ride along on board right now with Hugh Daff just to see how Hugh Daff does through this lap to give everybody an idea of what a hot lap around him looks like. And I'll just go ahead and be quiet. This is going to be your chance to crank it up and listen to this beautiful McLaren go around this racetrack. Hugh Daff sets the new benchmark of a 1:16.5. Not a bad lap. Look at all the cars coming out of the pit lane on the right-hand side. Pit lane exit is very fun here, especially during the race. Could see a lot of crazy maneuvers as the pit stops start happening under green flag conditions. And then Ninja comes through, and Ninja in the Aston Martin bests his teammate and Hugh Daff with a 16.2. Waiting to see some of the really heavy hitters. Betsy's on an out lap. Winters actually put in a lap according to telemetry, but it wasn't validated. He did save up ERS though, so he's going to be on another push lap right here. Let's see how the Red Bull driver does. Winter's been showing a lot of promise this season so far. He really came out of the gates, really putting all four down and really pushing. Oh, and he's off. He's going to clout the wall just ever so slightly with the left-hand side of that car. Doesn't look like he has any damage, but that's his second lap out, so he's going to have to make his way back to the pit lane while trying to stay out of the way of this fast traffic that are on hot laps. Let's see if we can find somebody else. Who would it be? Harry Dwells is actually on a hot lap. Let's see where Harry's going to end up as he comes up to the second sector split. Flicks it into that fast downhill right-hander. Very, very tricky set of corners. Probably the two trickiest corners on this racetrack, in my opinion. The exit is very hard. The car becomes very unloaded as you turn in, and then it loads up so heavily on the exit that it gets really, really hard to get that car off and get some good traction. He's making his way down the penultimate corner now, gets through there pretty well, uses a lot of the exit curbing there, and again uses a lot of exit curbing. He's coming to the line. Let's see what kind of lap time he puts in. It's going to be a 1:17.8, so Harry with a lot of time to find here. Let's see who else is on a lap. Betsy's on a lap coming down to the chicane. Uses quite a bit of that curbing. It's going to be interesting to see how many drivers are willing to risk jumping those sausage curves, which you can do, and it'll gain you about half a second at this racetrack per lap. Look at that. He's got the left side tires all the way out on that white line. Coming to the line, this could be the new pole time, and it is a 1:15.7. So Betsy now sitting at the top of the charts. So lap. Rubric has invalidated Muckping. Muckping comes into the penultimate corner. He's going to be our next driver to set a lap. Looks like he's actually towing his teammate of Relics onto a lap, possibly. Muckping goes P5. No, Rapid Relics actually must have made a mistake and ended up behind his teammate. Let's see who the next driver is to come and set a lap time. It's not going to be Curtis. Looks like it might be Josie. Josie Wales, the big heavy hitter, our championship leader, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. I'll get the championship points for you after qualifying. Coming to the line, let's see what he sets. Opens the DRS flap on the back of that beautiful Mercedes, and a 1:15.5, so 0.2 faster. Look at all that traffic. Somebody all the way over on the grass trying to get out of the way of everybody. Takes out one of the braking boards. Claps for life. You just redeemed a hot lap with Daryl for Josie. All right, well, we'll see what we can do about that. Let's see if we can find Left 4 Dead. Where is Left 4 Dead? Is Left 4 Dead? Yeah, Left 4 Dead's coming down on a lap right now. Yeah, Benno is correct. Yeah, only one hot lap, so. Both of us here, I'm only going to be doing one hot lap. You're going to get a hot lap with Daryl with Left 4 Dead whenever Left 4 Dead starts another lap. Unfortunately, I found him a little too late on this lap, but I'll go get Daryl out of the living room. I think he's sitting in there watching the NASCAR highlights from last weekend for Kevin Harvick's win. He's probably in there kicking himself. Oh, and Harry's out. Where's Harry out at? Oh, Harry's lost it into the wall. Would you look at that? I'm not going to be able to see the car, but it looks like he lost traction right here and put the car in the left-hand wall over there. Look at all that curbing that Chrissy uses. Oh, and he breaks traction with that left rear tire as he tries to get on the loud pedal. Had a little bit of a tank slapper going there. Lucky to catch that. Chrissy comes through to set a new time, and he goes with a 1:15.9. Good enough for P3. Well done, Chrissy. So we got Rapid Willie about to put his first lap time in. Coming out of the hairpin. Another tricky traction zone at this racetrack. I have to say, as a driver, this is one of the most rewarding racetracks to have a good lap around because of just how complicated it is. See a little twitch there as he gets on the power trying to come up out of the bottom of the gully there. Not taking as much curbing as some of the other drivers we've seen, but looks very clean through there. Little twitch once he gets under power there. Really comes out of the final corner. Doesn't use a whole lot of that curbing on exit. It might cost him some time, but let's see where he's at when he crosses. It's going to be good enough for P9 with a 1:16.5. Hutto out on a lap. The only car out on a lap right now that has yet to set a time. And he's just come through and he invalidated that hot lap as well. So Hutto having struggles right now. Left 4 Dead still out on track running laps. But you look at that, still has plenty of battery left. He is just doing lap after lap after lap. This is now lap 3. Not sure when he's going to want to go into the pit lane, but he's going to want to do it soon to try and get those tires on for that last run. Betsy's on a fast one. Betsy coming through sector 1, heading down into turns 4 and 5. Very clean through there. We'll ride on board with him for a little while. He purples sector 1. Let's see how he does on this exit here. Gets out onto the curbing. Keeps the car all the way to the right. No reason to watch out to the left there in qualifying. one downshift. Oh, he's a little wide. Lucky not to validate that lap. Over the curb, he's slight block up, but he gets a great exit to come up the hill with. Look at all that speed he's able to carry through that uphill right. Jumps the curb in very nicely. Comes over that crest. What a beautiful shot to see that car appear. Might get a little bit of a tow here going down the front straightaway. This could be good enough to beat Josie's lap time and set the new best time of the day. And it is. He beats Josie by just under a tenth. 1:15.4. Good lap by Betsy. Back down. Josie's on a lap now. Josie coming through Sector 1. He's just past the Sector 1 split. He's 1.5 tenths down on his time already, but he didn't beat Betsy's time through the first sector. Betsy had a little bit of a struggle there in the second sector. Josie could take a new best time here and still have enough time to get into the pit lane and put a new set of tires on and go again. See where he's at when it comes to the second sector split. He is faster than he's faster than Betsy right now. Oh, and he's invalidated the lap. I think he's jumped too much of the chicane curbing. He's going to have to go in now and try again. Rapid Rubric out in the AlphaTauri. AlphaTauri has a beautiful car this year, I must say. In case y'all were wondering what I think is the prettiest car on the grid, I'd have to say it's probably this one. What is this? What do you want? What do you want? Are you racing or are you streaming with me? Right on. All right, well, do you want to stay in the party or? Because I'm streaming. Yeah. Okay, alright. Alright, so Rapid Rubric with a 1:15.8 puts himself into P6. We'll run through the top 5 real quick, as it seems everybody's in the pit lane about ready to do their final push laps for this session before the sprint race. You got RRT Betsy sitting top. Josie sitting P2 right behind him. Had a lap going where he could have taken that pole away from Betsy, but unfortunately had an invalidation at that final chicane at the end of Sector 2. Winner, the other Red Bull, as expected, sitting right at the front, just behind 5 thousandths behind Josie Wales. Where did that lap come from? Unfortunately, I didn't see that as he was putting that lap in. Relic sitting Alfa Romeo, sitting P4. Noodles sitting P5 with a 1:15.8. Rapid Rubric sitting P6, Chrissy P7, Rilo, a driver that we expect big things from this season, as he's been showing us he is a driver that's on the pace early on, sits in 8th, Ninja 9th, Curtis in 10th, Left 4 Dead currently 11th, Muck King in 12th, Willie 13th, 14th is Hugh Daff. Harry Dwells is a DNF because he wrecked out earlier in 15th, but Espinala, Kahoot, and Hutto yet to set lap times. Left 4 Dead is actually on and out lap. Oh, I gotta go get Daryl. What's going on, race fans? It's Daryl Waltrip. Who is this? It's Left 4 Dead. Well, we got Left 4 Dead. He's going through turns 1, 2, and 3. He looks pretty good. He's all the way up into 7th gear. He actually takes 8th gear as he makes it down here to 5 and 6. Or excuse me, 4 and 5, now heading to 6. Down into the hairpin, looks like he's got a pretty good line there. Really good exit. Taking a pretty power on that rear end of that car without the rear tires inflating. Brakes just about 25 meters away from the apex of that corner and turns in very nicely into 6th gear. Let's see how he does. Doing double apex right-hander here. Good climb out is what he needs, and a good climb out is what he gets. He's now making his way down to the final chicane here. Jumps the entry curve. He doesn't really get the line he wants on the exit curve. Couldn't really get the power down as early as he was looking to, but hey man, this looks like it's gonna be a good lap. It's gonna be a good lap. He breaks at the 50-meter board, heading down here, and heading off the corner. Just taps the brake pedal there, as you can see, as he gets on it. Now heading down the straightaway, looking left for dead new Hopus DRS lane. What's he only gonna do? A 116.1. Woo! Shit fire! Well, decent lap there by Left for Dead. Thank you, Daryl. You can piss off now and go back to watching NASCAR. Everybody's now on an out lap. Kitch actually on a hot lap right now. Kitch is Espanola in the Haas, actually in the party with us. Hopefully me commentating him doesn't fuck him up because he can hear me, which is awesome. Let's see how good he does. We'll grade his lap as he goes around. He's the only driver on a hot lap right now. A lot of wheel spin on the racing that corner. Really loving that Ferrari engine out in the back of that Haas car. Down in the fifth gear. He's the only driver I've seen in these 5 years so far in that corner. Ooh, big lock up there. Goes all the way back to third gear trying to get the car lowered down. Not a lot of practice. Now he's got a car in the way. Is that car going to move? No, it's his teammate. Is that car going to tow him? Looks like he's not going to tow him. He's going to get out of the way now. Kit's still a lot of wheel spin as he exits. Down in the corner now. Where's he brake at? Right before the 50-meter board. A decent braking zone by Kitch, but I think we got a little bit of lag going on. The car is really jumping around all over the place. Kitch sets the time at 1:17.5, about 2 seconds off the pace right now, Kitch. Hey, I want no excuses. I did an e-sport race last night at the Netherlands, and first lap of the day I went from 20th to fucking 12th in one lap. I don't want to hear it. All right, as we get some vape pulls in, we've got everybody on hot laps now. Let's get back up to the front. Let's see, Josie just came out of Sector 1. He's actually got Betsy right behind him. We're going to sit on board with these two and just follow along on their lap. Winner has actually retired. Has Winner lost control of the car somewhere? Yes, looks like Winner's lost control of the car out of the... Yeah, he's lost control out of the hairpin there, out of Sector 1 into Sector 2. Josie and Betsy both looking really good as they make their climb out of that downhill right-hander to the final chicane. Who is that up in front? Josie. Josie loses the car! Josie loses the car! Josie's off, and Josie resets to the racetrack. I'm recording that. Oh wait, I don't have to because I'm streaming. And Betsy's making his way down to the final corner now. Betsy can easily take hold here. Chrissy's sitting on pole. Chrissy with a 1:15.3, what a lap by Chrissy. But Josie can't do anything about it, but Betsy beats it. Betsy beats it with a 1:15.32. 400ths of a second faster. Josie on the back foot now going into the sprint race. Whew. If I'd have done any racing here in the past few days, I'd let you know, bro. But I haven't done any racing here. All right, so everybody has finished their lap, so we'll take you down the order. On pole for the sprint race is going to be Betsy in the Red Bull, and then you got Chrissy in P2, Josie in P4. Everything's disappeared now. You got Winner in P4, and then there's Relics rounding out the top 5. Yeah, Hendo, I'd have to agree in the chat saying a reset is a reset. Honestly, yeah, there's nothing in the rule book that says you can't reset the track during qualifying or you can't reset to the track during the race. It just says you are not allowed to reset to track. So that is honestly a cut and dry penalty for Josie Wales. No defense he's going to have for that. But anyway, we've got Betsy, Chrissy, Wales, Winner, Relics, Noodles, Rubik, Willie, Curtis, and Ninja rounding out the top 10. Left for Dead, Rilo, Hutto, Muckping, all these drivers with a lot of work to do. And Espanola only able to put in one lap, I think, before he was really able to figure something out. And then you got Harry Dwells and Kahoot. Kahoot, what in the are you doing with your life all the way down there? Yeah, surely a stern talking to, Benno, but I mean, I don't know, to be honest, because we've had at least one reset the track penalty every race so far this year. Looks like it's going to be a struggle for a little while. J-Rad says, come on, Ferrari. You better be saying that because Rilo is off the pace today, not able to find it. Rilo's actually just left the session. I wonder what that's all about. J-Rad, I saw you ask earlier, where is Pajala? Pajala, I have no idea where he is. He told me that he would not be here this week or next week, which means we won't get any of the beautiful stuff that he's able to do with his fancy computer and whatnot. But Hendo's just put it in the chat. Article 5, resetting the track is against the league rules unless it would result in a driver being disqualified for facing the wrong way. Any driver caught doing this will automatically be awarded a 10-second time penalty. And a 10-second time penalty around Imola is a huge, huge disadvantage for anybody. If it were up to me and the game would somehow allow it, he would have the 10-second time penalty added on after the sprint race. Well, no. Let me think about that. How would I want that? How would you want that? For a driver to pick up a time penalty that must be served, would you rather that be served penalty-wise during the sprint race, or would you rather that 10 seconds be tacked on at the end of Sunday's main event? I don't bloody know why formation lap's on, but by God it should be. No damn reason it shouldn't be. It's been driving me nuts past couple weeks that it wasn't on. You know why? Because why the hell not have it on? You can actually park your car this year and put it exactly where you want it. Why in the hell not? Formation glitch. What formation glitch? I haven't had any formation glitch. Explain. The only glitch I've had so far in this game is last night in an esports race. I lost all damn force feedback after going from P20 to P3. Pissed me the fuck off. Kitchmate, you should have seen me last night. You'd have been so proud of me. Literally went full Nico Hulkenberg, bro. Had no practice whatsoever. Super subbed in at the Netherlands. Couldn't even put a lap in quali. Had to start dead last with a setup I had no idea how it would work. Ended up at lap 28 during the safety car. I was on track P3 with tires ready to go to the end. And then we get down to turn 1, there's a whole bunch of lag, I go to record it. As soon as I try to record it, all my force feedback goes away. And I can't get it to come back. So mad. So mad. Anyway, everybody's coming down to the grid. This is going to be the first time we've ever seen these Div 1 drivers actually come to the grid. I am excited about this because I want to see who on the grid is smart enough to actually position their car and who isn't. Yeah, look at Betsy. Betsy's positioning his car. Betsy doing very well to point his car off toward the kink. Josie doing the same. Winner kind of leaving his straight. Relic. Oh, Relics, what the fuck have you done? Well, looks like Relics has gotten on the loud pedal a little too hard. The car wasn't ready for it. Now we got Rubric in his place. And everybody seems to be pulling up where they're supposed to be. Some of these guys looks like they've been having issues. Kitch is actually the only car I'm having an issue with. Kitch, you are lagging around like a son of a bitch, even sitting on the grid. Your car's doing the fucking hokey pokey. Anyway, we're getting to go green. And the lights go out and it's go, go, go! Up at the front, Chrissy gets a bad start, but so did Josie. Betsy gets a beautiful start. This is really going to help him down into turn 1 to protect the position. Further back, though, it's all kicking off back there around P5. They're side by side. Relics and Noodles side by side through turns 1, 2, and I think Relics finally was able to edge him out going into 3. Noodles knew not to keep his nose in. But look, they're too wide a little further back from there. Hugh Daff and Rilo going at it. Rilo losing a few positions in the opening sector of this race. Let's go ahead and get some telemetry up and see who's on what tire, who's chosen to do what. Nobody has chosen to do anything crazy here. Everybody's on the medium tire. got a lot of racing going on here. Kahoot making up a lot of ground on this first lap. Started dead last in this race. Kahoot already up into P12. The Alpine driver really showing what he's got today. You're fucking this up for me. We were supposed to bloody crash so that way you could join me in here. Remember? The f*** are you doing? But Kahoot, anyway, has made up 8 positions so far already just on this first lap, and it looks like he is lining up the McLaren in front of him for a run down into turn 1. Kahoot deploying on exit. Can he do anything? Will ride on board with the Alpine driver. He's fallen too far back to try to make a move in turn 1 because the McLaren is trying to push up to the Alpha Tower, or excuse me, the Williams in front of it. Closest battle on track, though. Oh, it's Kahoot losing it. Yep, Kahoot, you are shite. I knew you were shite. Kahoot has lost the back end of the car under traction. It's unfortunate for Kahoot. Started dead last, made his way all the way up to 12th on the first lap, and then loses it. Rilo's just gotten by. I don't even know what I'm going to call that. I don't even know what I'm going to call this guy. The McLaren driver. I've never seen this camera tag before. I'm pretty sure it's still Daft's brother. But I don't know what I'm going to call him. So we're just going to call him FF. Just fuck it. It sounds funny. If Curtis podiums. So I've just been told and reminded actually that Curtis is a Div 3 driver in this Haas right now, and he is running up in P7. And who was it that said that? Clap says Cactus. If Curtis podiums, Div 3 puts Div 1 to shame. What a beautiful sentiment. It would be cool to see a Div 3 driver come up here and podium in Div 1. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's only the sprint race. We still have a long evening ahead of us. Is that Daft? No, because Daft's up in fucking P11. Is that Fat? Who is that? That ain't Daft. Daft's in P11. Who's this? Who is this? Claps down in P16. Who is that? Figure out who that is and get back to me. Back up the front. These 3 inseparable. Only 1 second between all 3 of them. You can fit all of them under a blanket. Josie gets a big run on Chrissy out of the corner, but knows that there's going to be nowhere for him to go. Oh, is that Hugh Daft? J-Rad, if Curtis gets a top 5, then you're not winning tomorrow. P11 is Hugh Daft. Yeah, no shit. Who's in 16? Oh, it's Mini Daft. Oh, okay. Mini Daft. Well, DRS is now enabled, and the 2 behind the leader have opened it. Chrissy's coming up to the back of the Red Bull. He doesn't have anywhere to go. He goes to the outside. He's going to get the move done as he hits the apex and chops off the Red Bull. A beautiful move there by Chrissy. Chrissy, a driver that's really come onto his own in this season, doing very well. Let's take a look back down the grid order as these positions will most likely hold for a little while. So it's lap 4 of 11. Currently have Noodles running in 6th. Kurt is still holding on to 7th, but he's got Rapid Rubric right there. They're all in a train stuck behind Noodles, who is losing time to the Alfa Romeo in front of him. Let's look further back down. The closest battle further down is for 15th and 14th. You got Ninja coming right up to the back of Rilo. Currently Ninja's teammate leading this race. Ooh, big snap over steer there. Oh no, who's off? Oh no, it's the Ferrari. It's Noodles. Ah! It's Noodles. Noodles is off. What a shame. Unfortunate for Noodles, that's really going to kill him. Left for Dead making a move on his teammate. Left for Dead just gone through on Ruger. Let's look up here at the front 3 as they come on to the DRS straight. What can happen? What can be done? Betsy getting really close, and we got a safety car, and Kahoot's out. Kahoot is out. Kahoot, do us all a favor, mate. Just join me in the party. Don't even load into the race. It's too hard to watch. All right, so Hugh Daff is pitted. Ninja's pitted. No, excuse me. Garth is pitted. Ninja is pitted. Hutto is in the pit lane. And Harry Dwells is in the pit lane. They're all throwing on a set of softs. that they could have used tomorrow now to try to make up positions. Good idea. They could definitely take the softs to the end once this safety car goes in. Let's take a look, though, and see who our biggest movers are of the race so far. And it's going to be Q-Def and our very own European boy, Espinola. Both up 5 positions from where they've started. Espinola can still do a little bit better, I feel like. He's still trying to get a handle on what he's got underneath of him with that car. Q-Def up into 10th after he started P15. W900 fan. Are you talking about like a Kenworth W900? Ooh, I want to know now. I must know. Is he a Kenworth fan? I must know. Because if it's not what it means, I'm going to be a little upset, a little let down, to be honest. But W900 fan started all the way at the back. He's now up into P15. Biggest loser of this race so far is Noodles, all the way down in P14 with a loss of 8 positions. As you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, his teammate is also the only driver out on track, currently be sitting with a time penalty, more than likely for, as we said, multiple warnings. I don't know who W900 is, but I'm telling you, he's got to be a fan of Kenworth's. He's got to be a truckie or a truckie's son, one of the two. And I'm digging it. Well, we got that beautiful Aston Martin safety car out front, leading the field around. Burt Mylander getting to do what he does best and showing everybody watching Formula One how to properly take an Aston Martin advantage around this racetrack. So Kahoot has retired. Let me see if I can find Kahoot and invite him to the party. Just get in here, bro. You don't want to put yourself through this pain. All right, so we've invited Kahoot. Excuse me, claps. Claps. Could you have put something else in the chat that would tell me you were stupid without telling me you were stupid? Mac better. Did you smoke crack before you typed that? You're not in the right headspace, mate. You're not in the right headspace. Well, okay, I'll take that back. Over in Australia, the Mac may be better. And Darth picking up a time penalty for a collision under safety car. Wait, not good. Anyway, Cactus seems crazy. Well, you must have put some of that stuff you smoked in an envelope and sent it to me. Anyway, I would say the Mac may be better over in Australia. Lightning McQueen's Mac is better. What? Did I forget to grease my mud flaps? Best scene from that whole damn movie. But anyway, so let's take a look here and see who all it is. So we've got only 4 drivers have pitted. Darth has taken 2 stops. What tire is Darth on now? What's Darth doing? Okay, he's coming out of the pit lane. He's on another set of softs. So that's 2 sets of softs now that he's been on that he should have been keeping for tomorrow. So Darth trying to get everything he can today, and he's not going to have much to work with tomorrow. But it is lap 7. Might go green this time. I don't know. It'll be a little, probably not. But McLaren's going to need to catch up before the safety car will actually go in. We would have gotten the message by now. So we will have one more time behind the safety car. Let's take a look here. We'll head back up to the front. All right, ladies and gentlemen, while we are under this final lap, what should be the final lap of this safety car, we'll go ahead and take a short break, and we will be back with you in just a few minutes.
not be here next week, so our RT Big Cactus will be your host. We hope you enjoy our broadcast.
Well, thank you, my beautiful computer wife. Western Star is pretty good. Over in the U.S., we don't have many Western Stars. My thing is a Pete. Nothing ever beats a Pete. Peterbilt 379 with an 05 frame, with a Detroit 550 motor in it, with the big 80mm turbo. She beautiful. And we're back to Green Flag Racing, and Chrissy gets the jump on him. Caught Betsy snoozing there. Betsy wasn't expecting him to go. Betsy wasn't expecting him to take off until he made it to the straightaway, but he caught him napping out of the penultimate corner's traction zone. And Chrissy clears himself away from Betsy enough to keep himself away from an overtake. Betsy is going to run him down pretty quickly, though. Betsy seems to have a slight advantage over Chrissy here over 1 lap pace. Josie really caught napping. Winner caught napping. Look at this. The entire pack really stretched out, caught napping. So Chrissy with a beautiful restart. I got to say, that's probably one of the smartest restarts I've ever seen on F122. Everybody usually has an idea of when the leader's going to go, but nobody would have expected him to take off out of that penultimate corner's traction zone. And literally, we watched him on stream throw the car into the final corner and completely drift around the final corner onto the front straightaway. So what a great move there. Oh, you're a farmer. So the debate is Case, New Holland, or John Deere. Well, I'm just going to say John Deere, because I have an old John Deere at the house. I also have a old 52 Ford at the house and a Farmall Super Beach at the house. So I would say green because I have a John Deere. It's the one that I use more than anything. It's a nice tractor. The only thing I would say, if you're wanting to buy new, and this is for any farmer that might be watching, if you're wanting to buy a new tractor, do not buy John Deere, because their engineers are the biggest set of fucking morons I've ever known in my life. And literally, if anything goes wrong with it, there's nothing you can do to fix it. Oh, and Hugh Daff goes around. Hugh Daff goes around out of the second chicane, and it looks like he's gotten the car rolling again. No damage to the front end of that McLaren, but look at how high that wing is off the ground. I've actually never noticed how high the front wing of that McLaren is off the ground. Back up at the front, though, it's still Chrissy, Betsy, and Wales, and Winner is starting to close up to this fight. Ninja's actually making his way through the pack now on that set of softs. Can he make another move here? He's closing right up to the back of Noodles. He's in a Ferrari sandwich right now. DRS is now available, so everybody's going to be able to get DRS the next time they come around. Yeah, it is going to be DRS on the last lap, so everybody really just kind of holding station here. Nothing crazy's happened since the restart of the race other than Hugh Daff losing control of the car. But Betsy's still there, but he couldn't get close enough. I think Josie's had an issue. Josie, 2.2 seconds behind Betsy. He was just 9/10 back. Who is that? Rilo. Rilo's lost the car. Rilo has lost the car. Where is he? Oh, there he is. He's over at driver's left. Looks like he's lost it getting on the throttle and coming out of turn 3 and just sending into that inside wall. Rilo. No, Rilo, no. Back up the front, it's still Chrissy, but he's got Betsy right behind him. Betsy tries to get a run, but he's got nothing left to do. Both these drivers with no charge left in these cars at all. Betsy down to 6%, Chrissy on 5%. Nothing's going to change here at the front, but Left for Dead is right on the back of Curtis, the Div 3 driver, who stepped up to Div 1 this weekend as a reserve, and he's running at the front. What are you Div 1 regulars doing? Letting the Div 3 boy come up here and run in 6th place. Rapid Willie comes to 9th, Muckpin in 10th. Got a little battle going on here, going to the line, and it's going to be Harry Wells that gets it. Storm Hutto, and then W900 fans, Hugh Daff comes to the line, but it's gonna be a front row of Chrissy and Betsy. Josie looking like he didn't have the pace to do anything about the two cars in front of him. Granted, this is a sprint race, so strategy is much different. You're literally just sprinting 11 laps. No pit stops, no management, no nothing. Josie might have recognized this and just sat there and held position. We'll have to wait and see. But so far, why won't this damn thing work? There we go. All right, so the front three all having fastest laps. Actually, that are pretty spread out. Look at that. Chrissy with a 17.3, Betsy with a 17.4. Josie's best lap is a 17.9. Relics with a 1:18.0. So who was the fastest driver there? Was it Daff with a 17.6? No, it wasn't. It was Chrissy. So Chrissy, fastest driver that time around. Unless somebody did a 16, which I don't see. Yeah, so Chrissy, fastest car on track. You like your case the best. Which case do you have? Which one do you have? Kitch, what's your biggest issue you're having right now? All right, come on, Benno. What kind of tractor is it? I want to know. Also, everybody remember that was the sprint race, so it sets the grid order for the actual Grand Prix, which we are about to start now. Our front three are... Oh yeah, there's no brake. This is Aussie Div 1. There's none of that fucking brake crap. An MX 135 Maximum. I don't think I've heard of that one before. I'll have to Google it. MX 135 Maximum. Is that like a Puma? Oh yeah, it is a Puma. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's just basically a Puma. That is a nice-ass tractor. Well, excuse me, sir, while I go book my ticket to come down there and help you on your farm during harvest season. So, drop me your address in a PM, please. I work for cigarettes. Not really a high price. And don't worry, I bring my vape with me, so, you know, I don't smoke in the field. Just vape while I'm in the field. Kahoot disqualified. What has happened? I think Kahoot never took off, actually, from his grid slot. Let's see here. So I think the big mover of that race is actually Espanola. So Espanola started dead last. He's made his way up to 11th to start this race. His teammate, though, the Div 3 driver, up into 6th. What a great showing in that sprint race and qualifying by Curtis. Curtis doing a great job. You do cattle, no crops. So what? Do you order all your mineral feed, your silage, your TMR, everything? You don't do your own hay. You don't do any of that shit. You gotta at least do your own hay. This Grand Prix getting ready to get underway. Our front row drivers, Chrissy and Betsy, getting ready to head down into their grid positions. Worthy to note, though, that Chrissy had a terrible start at that last lights out, whereas Betsy had a great one. So let's see which one of these two gets the better start. And look at Chrissy's aggressive positioning of his car. Beautiful job by Chrissy. Betsy actually doesn't get the car stopped correctly and disqualifies himself. That moves him back a whole 5 feet in his grid spot. Rubric does the same. And look at the Mercedes of Josie Wales. Josie really aggressively pointing his car as well. But the most aggressively pointed car I've seen on the grid so far is Chrissy, our race leader. Chrissy really showing that IQ running. Let's take a look down the order. Espinala, look at him mid-tack. Has his car pointed all the way over to the right. He's going straight to that inside wall to cut him off. We'll look back up front though. Let's see who has the better start. And boogity, 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 boogity. Let's go racing, boys. All three of them at the front have a great start. They're making their run down into turn one. It's close. Betsy right there trying to close the door on Josie, but there's no way he can. But Betsy holds off Josie and Chrissy holds all of them off. Huge going on. Who's that? Noodles is around. Noodles is around out of turn one. What happened there? Contact or just a poor start? Look back up further in the field. It's still Chrissy holding them off. Espinala gains a position. Now he loses it. Oh, he's side by side through the hairpin with the Williams, making the run up the hill. Who's going to give up? Who's going to give up? They're going to go into the corner side by side. The Williams driver very smartly backs out of that move. Very smartly backs out of that move. Kitch is actually in the party with me. I can hear him behind me going, mine. You Aussies would know all about that according to Finding Nemo if you see those. Back at the front, it's still Chrissy leading them off down into the corner. Betsy just behind him, and Josie just behind. Winner right there. Both Red Bulls still as consistent as ever, up in the top 5. Both Red Bulls. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm calling it right now. It's gonna be a Red Bull Constructors Championship. They're going to take it. They're going to take it. They are the absolute most OP team on this grid. Nobody can tell me that it's not going to be a Red Bull Constructors Championship here. It's just not. And Cahoot's actually battling with Rilo. Let's look at this. It looked like Cahoot might have been trying to take the position from Rilo and just couldn't get it done. He's going to have to defend from Storm Hutto behind. Wreck out so that way I can have somebody with me for these 32 laps. It'd be nice. So up Ninja's right on the back of the Williams in front of him. Willie, haven't really spoken much about Willie so far today, but he's doing very well running up in 10th. He's currently got the Aston Martin all over, and the Aston Martin just ran wide there. Might have picked up a warning. Good start from the boss. Yeah, not a bad start from Rubric. Rubric up into 6th. But look at this. He's doing it, folks. He's doing it. He is Yano in the flesh. He is creating the Truly train, and there is no stopping it. Choo-choo. Chrissy comes through to set the new fastest lap of the race. I unfortunately can't see what it is because like a dumbass, I left my broadcast bar at the top of the screen, so I can't see the information. It's a 118. Oh no, 118.8. Okay, yeah. The car's on heavy fuel right now. 32 laps of fuel on board these cars when they started the race. More than likely, they probably overfueled the cars just a bit. Some of them may have taken the risk of underfueling the cars. This year, it's very easy to underfuel the car and pray for a safety car. If you do get the safety car, you will assuredly make the end of the race. I've seen some races where we have one safety car and I've underfueled the car by a lap and a half, and under that one safety car, I'm able to gain the lap and a half of fuel back that I need. So beautiful job by the developers this year to make fuel saving a good strategy. Back up the front though, it's still Chrissy, Betsy, and Wales, followed by Winner. Nothing they're doing really moving around, but behind them it's going on. Hutto and W900 are going at it. It looks like W900's actually had an issue. Is he ghosted? Yes, he is ghosted, as Noodles makes a move on him. And now Harry Dwells is going to be all over the back of that Mercedes. What has happened to W900? And Betsy now sets the fastest lap of the race. They're really just trading fastest laps at the front, answering each other. And here we go, Betsy getting close to the back of Chrissy, but not close enough. Is he just waiting? DRS is available now as they come on the front straightaway. Muckping all over the back of Hugh Daff. Looks like Hugh Daff just made a pass going down the front straightaway on Hugh Daff. Look back up toward 8th place as there's a big battle going on. Everybody's just stuck behind Rubric. Relics has backed off of Rubric by about a second, but Left 4 Dead is all over Relics as they make the run up here to the double apex left.
think he's going to have the Haas of Espanola all over. Who's that? Who's that? Oh, it's Darf. Darf is around. Oh, Darf's left the session. Darf has left the session without his car being too damaged to continue. This is going to be a pass right here. Rapid Willie right behind Ninja. I don't think there's any way Ninja's going to be able to hide from this. As Winner goes through on Josie. Josie not able to keep up with the pace of the Red Bull driver behind. He goes through and look at this defense from the arena. Oh my goodness. Ooh, that's a little iffy. Did that Aston Martin move twice? Did it hold its line going into one? I'm not 100% sure. It looked like he had the car placed perfectly and then just ever so slightly might have moved to the right a little bit. Needs to be careful about that. Really could have not anticipated it. Made a dive bomb move. Could have killed both of them. Back up the front though, Josie loses out to Winner. So Winner up into P3. It's now a Red Bull 2-3. Can these two Red Bulls use the two cars being at the very front to split their strategy and try something to catch these other two up here off guard and give themselves an advantage? Curtis up into 5th place. He is actually catching Josie Wales right now. The Div 3 driver is running down the Div 1 prodigy. What is going on right now? For those of you that are with us in the chat, go ahead and put a prediction out there. Who do you think is going to win this race? Will it be Chrissy? Will it be Betsy, Winner, or Josie? Can we have a surprise winner like Curtis? What a surprise that would be. I'm starting to think that Betsy is just okay with sitting here. He's happy with the position that he's in. He doesn't really seem to be in that big of a hurry to close up to the back of the Aston Martin in front of him. And it really doesn't look like he is. He's only used half his battery. He's going to have to start watching that. Oh, and is that a safety car, Kitch? Is that a safety car or a virtual? Okay, virtual safety car has been deployed. All these guys at the front on mediums. Will any of them jump in for the hards? Will anybody take that risk? And it's going to be Hugh Daff, I believe. Yes, Hugh Daff has gone out. Oh, and Winner's made a mistake. Winner's around. Under virtual safety car. Winner's lost the back end of the car at the penultimate corner. Oh, Winner. Winner. And we're back to green flags. So who was it that made a pit stop? Betsy. Betsy took the risk and it might not pay off because the VSC has already ended. The VSC has already ended as Betsy went in. For those of you that don't know a whole lot about F1, taking a pit stop under a virtual safety car will gain you usually about 8 seconds on whoever you're behind. So when you come out, hopefully you have to in the air and you can jump them when they make their pit stop. I don't think Betsy had enough time. When he went in, the virtual safety car was still out. But as he was in his pit box, the virtual safety car stopped and we went back to green flag racing. This could be huge. It's so hard to tell whether or not he was able to gain anything from that virtual safety car. So we'll have to wait and see. Let's take a look. And let's see what the gap is here. Let's see. Gap to... Oh, no. Wrong one. Gap to the leaders. So his gap to the leader is 28 seconds. If I'm not mistaken, the pit lane delta here is about 30 seconds. It's a very long pit lane. So he may have gained some time. He may have. We'll have to wait and see. He's out on cold tires right now. He probably is getting them up to the running window right about now. This year, the tire blankets, by regulation, are turned down some. So you do come out with cold tires. They're not up in the window to properly work and give you the grip that you want. So now he should have the grip in the tire. He needs to be careful though. He needs to save some of that battery. He doesn't want to use it all right away. Let's just back up at the front. Josie, 2.6 seconds behind Chrissy. And Winner with that mistake has lost basically 10 seconds to the leader of the race. What a mistake to have under virtual safety car. So you only do grass-fed Benno while there's no action out on track really happening right now. Quick question. Do you take any of that grass and put it in a bunker or anything like that and convert any of it into silage? Or are you just feeding it all as just rolled hay? Just wondering, because I'm actually in that business in the U.S. That's what I do. So I don't do it right now, obviously, because I'm stuck over here. Oh, dear God, ladies and gentlemen, my wife's calling me. I better take this. All right. So the wife is gone. I am back. I'm just looking at the gap. I'm studying the gap between Betsy and Chrissy. Betsy's actually losing time right now. Let's take a look back at Betsy and see what's going on. He's actually stuck in traffic behind Kahoot. As long as he is stuck behind Kahoot, he's going to continue to lose time. He has to clear these two Alpines. But the two Alpines are going to be working together to make sure that he doesn't get through. He's got the pace there. You can see just how much better under braking he is. Oh, Kahoot has an issue. This is his chance. He deploys. Does Kahoot deploy? Yes, he does. Can Betsy get close to him and make a lunge and he's off the corner? He shows his nose, but he doesn't do it. He gets just slightly offline, but look at Kahoot right up under his teammate's wing now. Oh, Kahoot with a terrible job out of the corner. This is exactly what he needed. Kahoot not being able to hold him off. Here he comes. He's going to get both Alpines on one straightaway. I am so damn glad I come back here to talk about this gap. Look at this. The Alpine's going to race him hard into one though. Can the Alpine hold on to it? Oh, and there's a touch. There's a touch. They're both off. They're both off. This is not good for Betsy at all. This is ruining Betsy. He's going to have to pray for a safety car now. So it's now Chrissy's race to lose. Chrissy looks like he has the pace over Josie. It looks like Josie doesn't have enough to keep up with him. He's been putting about 1/10 a lap on him since we've come back to green flag racing. Is that Josie? Josie stopped on the racetrack. Or no, not Josie. Excuse me, Betsy. Yeah, Betsy's just now got going again. What happened there? He doesn't have any damage. I think Betsy's just super frustrated right now with what's going on, and I don't blame him. Right now, nothing big really happening. Oh, we got a yellow in sector 2. Oh, and it's the McLaren. The other McLaren struggling still of Darth. Yeah, Darth. Yeah. And Relic's trying to find a way through on Winner. Can't do it. They've got left of it. Left there with him with Spinola not far behind, bringing Billy along with him. Have a lot of acreage with that bale basically all year round. It gets about 2.5, 3 feet high. All year round. And then put some of it on the property and selling the majority of it with the cattle industry in our area. Anyway, Rapid Kahoot picks up a time penalty. Kahoot, you're not living up to what you told me you were going to do in the chat. You haven't wrecked out on that. You haven't joined in the comment now. I'm starting to get a little upset with you. But anyway, look up at the front at the Delta. Rosie Wales has lost half a second to Chrissy over the last lap. Not sure if Chrissy just pushed harder on that lap or if Josie just made a mistake. But we're still riding on board with relics. Who's that? Willie. Willie's gone into the pit lane. Willie is in. He is in for his stop. This will be his one and only stop of this race. He boxes and puts on the hard compound tire to go the next 20 laps with. And Cahoot and Hutto go through on him, but Cahoot still has to pit. He's going to lose out the W900 fan as well. Look at this train. Look at this train that is forming behind Rubric. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars in this train. If Spinala can figure out his car, it'll be 5 and probably 6. Oh, and as I said, Spinala picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. No, fuck off. You wanted me to be in this party. This is your own fault. So now 3 drivers on track running with time penalties. Spinala, Rilo, and Cahoot, the only 3 with them. As Rubric's made the move, or no, excuse me, Winner has made the pass on Cahoot down into turn 1. So Winner trying to bring himself back into this race. And Curtis running up in P3. What is going on here? Who is that? Oh, it's actually, is that Betsy? It is Betsy. Betsy is running dead last, and he's not getting out of the way. He's not getting out of the way. How disrespectful. Get out of the damn way. You're now a lap car, mate. Unless you better pull away from him like the next lap, or else you need to give way. You see here the Haas is currently running in the podium positions. The Div 3 driver up here in Div 1 as reserve this evening. Running up in 3rd. Currently has last year's Division 1 champion right in front of him as a lap car, and he is not pulling away. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to everybody that's watching. I don't care. I'm not here to make friends. I don't care how fast Betsy thinks he is. I can see the blue flags being waved at him. I don't give a damn if he ghosts or not. He needs to give the position. He needs to just get out of the way. This is just sad to see. This is just sad. There's no reason for him to still be there. None at all. If this was real Formula 1, he'd already have a penalty by now. He'd have multiple penalties by now for just staying there. I don't understand why people are doing that in this game. And it's really starting to piss me off. I really hope some stewards see this and do something about it. This is Division 1. Shouldn't have a lap car sitting in front of a podium running car that won't get out of the damn way. Oh, and now he finally does it. For fuck's sake. And the Haas makes a mistake, has a little error there. Probably a little flustered from being stuck behind the lap car for a little while. I wouldn't doubt it. And Curtis is actually running P1 right now because Josie has pitted, and so has Chrissy. Chrissy running 8th, Josie currently running 9th. They're going to catch some traffic here, and who's that? Winner's just pitted, so that leaves Curtis. Curtis is going long. Let's see how long Curtis goes. This is going to make this a little spicy. How long is Curtis staying? Oh my God, the lap car has just overtaken the first place running car. I'm recording that. Nope. That is the stupidest damn thing I've ever seen. That is the dumbest damn thing I've ever seen. I'm sorry. I don't care if Betsy's the Division 1 champion from last year. That is a cut and dry penalty in my opinion. He was not any faster than the car he was attempting to pass. He just so happened to be the leader of this race. And he ghosted right through him in turn 1 and 2 and totally took away the concentration of him and just had him spin out. I'm sorry, completely unacceptable, completely inexcusable. Especially when you're running P19. What a disgrace. All right, right, so your new leader is now Relics, but Relics isn't really running in a podium position, in my opinion. I think it's gonna be Winner that'll end up being in P3 when it all settles out due to that. But actually, Relics now has the Red Bull of Betsy right in front of him. But Relics was not that close to Betsy. Relics wasn't that close to Betsy. He wasn't. Either Betsy just made a huge mistake, or Relics has gained a huge amount of pace, or Betsy has just purposely backed off and gotten in front of the next car that's leading this race to try and distract him and hold him up. Oh, and Darf is around again. Muckping actually has Chrissy coming up behind him now. Muckping now has Chrissy all over the back of him. Chrissy, the real leader of this race, dives to the inside of the penultimate corner, does not want to be behind Muckping at all. He wants to go. And Josie's actually fallen off the back of him. Josie was only about 2 seconds behind him. He's now 2.2 behind Muckping. Now 2.4 behind Muckping. He's almost 2.7 seconds behind Chrissy. So Chrissy really starting to stretch out his advantage. Chrissy definitely going to retake the lead of this race. But I can't help but think that we were robbed a little bit, as Curtis is now pitted and he's all the way back in 12th. Curtis possibly could have brought himself into contention with this if he would have went deep. But I feel like with what happened between he and the Red Bull, I don't know. And let's see here. Relics is actually past the Red Bull. Let's see if he can stay in front of him. He needs to. He doesn't need any distractions from behind. I'm not sure what the heck the Red Bull's trying to do, other than just stay behind the leader. That's all he can do. He's no faster than the leader right now. Curtis making a move on Ninja. Let's see where that's been done at. That's been done down. Okay, well, Curtis is now coming up on his teammate. Curtis on fresh tires. Let's see what the two Haas cars do. Will the front pass and attempt first move out of the way? Josie now up in the fourth place. Lilo in third. Let's see if any dramatics happen between the two Haas cars, or is Kitch pitting? Kitch stays out. According to Kitch, is actually already pitted. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stop. So everybody has pitted except for Relics, Muckping, and Harry Wells. There's only 3 cars left out on the racetrack that haven't done a pit stop yet. So they will have to come in no matter what to change tires. Chris is going to retake the lead of this race once that happens. Rilo has not stopped yet either. Yellow in sector 2. Oh, yes, that is going to be the McLaren of Darf. Darf really struggling today. Both McLaren really struggling since the start of the season. McLaren is going to have to get its act together if they want to have anything to do with this championship. As far as it goes now, both McLarens not really showing out this year. Really having problems. I don't think either McLaren has scored any points this year that have really been up there. I think McLaren has some points, but nothing major. The two McLarens are basically one of the closest battles on track right now, other than Rilo and Josie, who will probably just come out of turn 3, heading down to turn 4. Let's see what happens, though. The car behind is deploying. Is he going to have enough to run on Espinola to get him? It looks like he is. Which way to go? He goes to the outside. Espinola to finish the inside. Espinola Imola not going to be able to hold him up. He lets his teammate through. Didn't make that too difficult for him. They didn't lose time to each other. Good work by the Haas teammates. Oh, look at this coming out of it. Coming out of the hairpin. They're bumping. They're straight rubber. Oh, and around it. Oh, and they both lost it. Oh my goodness, Relics almost losing as Winners on the outside of him, I believe it was. Winners started to lose it after a bump from Relics, but Relics able to catch the car. Great driving by both of them to recover their cars. Winner comes back over and chops off left for them and says, no sir, you're not coming through here. Oh, he pitches around. Oh, and he's reset the track. And I've caught it on stream. That is a cut and dry penalty. That's 10 seconds. That's 10 fucking seconds. Harry Dwells is coming to the pit lane. This is going to be his one and only stop of the race. He's come in. He's on a set of hard compound tires. He's going to switch over to a set of mediums. Who was that I just saw? That's Betsy. Betsy's just thrown on a set of softs. Is he going to go 12 laps on softs? Oh my goodness, and that's going to be a full safety car, isn't it, Kitch? Is that a full safety car? Hugh Daff is out. And so has the other McLaren now. Darf gone out. Safety car has been deployed. So safety car deployed. Chrissy, every bit of the advantage that Chrissy has had and that he has worked so hard for to get in this race is now gone. All null and void. He has nothing. It's all reset. But we did see Chrissy earlier on in the sprint race with a really amazing, cheeky safety car restart out of the penultimate corner's traction zone. Is he going to try something similar? Will he go on the way down the hill? I mean, Chrissy, his brain is working. And this safety car has come out at a period where everybody can bolt on the softs and go to the end. As we do see cars in the pit lane, Relics and Muckping have come in. Rilo and Muckping have come in. So Rilo is boxed. He's put on a fresh set of mediums. Muckping has come in. He's put on a fresh set of mediums as well. All the drivers now catching up the back of the safety cars. We have more cars now filing into the pit lane. Espinala, Ninja, and Kahoot. All three of them in the pit lane now for another pit stop. All three of these cars now making a second pit stop of this race. Rilo and Muckping were able to get lucky and take their hards all the way out to this perfectly placed safety car to make their one pit stop. So Espinala, as you can see, comes out behind Kahoot after serving a time penalty in the pit lane and gets a new front wing fitted to the front end of that Haas. But remember, Espinala has to make this work very quickly. That's why you see he has put on a set of soft compound tires. His brain's working just like mine. He's done the same thing I would have done. He knows that he has a 10-second time penalty coming no matter what at the end of this race due to that reset the track, because he knows it was caught on stream, because he's in the party with me and he heard me say it. So he knows that he has to get something going here early on. He's got to make some passes and he's got to put some time on people behind him to try to get into the points. Ninja comes out from the pit lane. Ninja box puts on a fresh set of medium compound tires. I believe that's a fresh set. Unfortunately, I can't see. Let's see here. Tire. Yes, it is a fresh set. So let's go ahead and run through the field and see who's on what. So the front four all on used hard compound tires. Relic in 5th place is on the medium compound tire. Rapid Willie is on old used hards with Rilo right behind him on brand new mediums. So we could see a huge battle early on after this safety car ends between the Alpine driver and the Ferrari driver. Behind them is Curtis, the Div 3 driver who moved up to Div 1 and in my opinion got completely screwed by a Red Bull not following the rules and getting his ass out of the way. Distracted him while literally ghosting in and out of him for 2 laps, caused him to lose control of the car. So now he is back in 8th place. This safety car helps him out to possibly make up some more positions, which in my opinion are well deserved. Mukping in 9th. He's on brand new tires. Noodles is in 10th on the oldest tires in the field. Noodles on 15-lap old hards. He's going to have to take them to the end. He boxed on lap 6, so he's going to have to take those to the end. Harry Dwells is on the mediums. Those are only 2 laps old. W900 fan on 6-lap old hard compound tires. Hutto also on the hards. Oh, and Cahoot's crashed it under the safety car. Who else but Cahoot? So Cahoot's out. Now, the first car on the soft compound tire is the Haas of Kitch. Kitch. Safety car's in this lap. Kitch is on the new soft compound tire. So we're going to go back up to the front. When does Chrissy take off? Chrissy, now he goes. Look at the rear end of that Aston Martin twitching around as he tries to get on the throttle. What an amazing jump. He's literally pulled away from Josie again. That's the second time this weekend on a safety car restart we've seen Josie caught napping. And Josie's usually the one making others look like they've been caught napping. Can we get an onboard from Cahoot for 5 seconds, please? Well, unfortunately, Cahoot has wrecked himself. And it'd be really bloody nice if he'd join me in the commentary box, because my voice is losing it. Let's see if I can find him real quick. Invite party. There we go. Anyway, back here on the stream, it is Chrissy at the front, and he's pulled 1.2 seconds on Josie already in just half a lap. We haven't even completed 1 lap of racing since the safety car went in, and Josie already falling behind. Winner doing the same. Winner caught napping just a little bit. He is 1.3 seconds behind him, but you can see here, Left 4 Dead has just lost a position to Rapid Relics. He's going to be racing Rilo. He's racing Rilo down into the corner. Looks like Rilo back there. Rilo's got one on his inside. It's Curtis. Curtis looking to make some moves. Curtis says, oh, you were slower than me, and I'm going to prove it. And he wants through. Betsy sets the new fastest lap time of the race. Here they all come down into turn 1. The Alfa Romeo's challenging the Haas, but there's nothing going there. Not close enough. Can't do anything with it. We're just kind of hanging out here in the midfield as all the big battles are going on here. Look at the Ferrari diving up the inside. That's Noodles. Has he made contact? I think he made contact with the Alfa Romeo. Has the Alfa Romeo made it through? Yes, it looks like it has. Now Noodles is going to race a Haas into the next corner. That's Espanola. He's racing Espanola going side by side. Espanola not giving it up, but Noodles runs wide and takes a time penalty for it. That's going to help. Look at Noodles weaving around. He's trying to find somewhere to go. He wants through. He thinks he's got pace. But to be honest, he's at the biggest disadvantage of anybody in the field. He is 0.0 seconds behind. He's side by side as they go into the public corner. He makes the pass on the Alpine. Let's see, can Espanola get anything done? No, he's too far back. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get a big enough run to catch up. Relics, however, at the front, running in P4, is starting to catch up to the back of Winner. But we're going to stay back here because this is the closest battling on track. And Betsy's left the session. Betsy has been disqualified from the session. And there goes Kitch. Kitch making a beautiful move down the inside of the straight sheet into turns 4 and 5. What a race. What a restart. These boys are on it. How about Rilo? Rilo up into 5th place. He's doing a great job recovering from what was a terrible performance in the sprint race. Doing a great job today of recovering that up into the top points paying positions. He runs 5th to round out the top 5. In 4th place, we have Relics. And Relics is continuing to catch Winner in front of him. Winner on older, hard compound tires. As this race goes deeper, the advantage for Relics is only going to grow. Can Winner get another podium? Can Relics beat him to it? Relics is actually gaining enough on him that he could possibly get through him and make up to Josie if he can get it done. Here he comes. He's making the move. He's done it. He's done it down the front straightaway into turn 1. It's now Rapid Relics into P3. Winner. Not enough pace in the Red Bull to hold him back. Now can Relics put his foot down, put his head forward, and do nothing but catch up to Josie Wales in front of him. It's one gap now, 1.9 seconds. Let's see what happens over the next few laps. We'll check back on him here in a little while. We'll look back down further in the field as it has absolutely become a train behind ERC Curtis. Everybody jockeying for position. Up the hill they go. Just going to take this quick second to remind everybody that unfortunately, since Pajala is not here this week and he will not be joining us next week, it will be me, RRT Big Cactus, in the comps box with you next week. Also to remember, because Pajala is not here, we cannot perform the spin to win, which means everybody will not be able to hope for a prize today. We're very sorry, but unfortunately, he's the only one that has the program with all the information on it, and it was not sent to any of us. So we will not be having any spin to win this week or next week, which is perfectly fine, because then that just means that the prizes last longer and we get them further into the season. But remember to show up every week for your chance to win a championship RB16 car valued at 120 USD. That is the big prize that we're giving away for the spin to win. So remember, every week starting after next week, again, we will have the spin to win back, where one person in the chat will be chosen at random at the end of the race for the spin to win, and you must be here to claim your spin to win prize. You must be in the chat to claim your spin to win prize. We'll get back to racing. As it does look like toward the front, I'm just looking at the gap, it is shrinking. Rapid Relics now has the gap to Josie down to 1.5 seconds with a huge 5-lap tire advantage over Josie Wales. Nothing really going on here mid-pack though, as we keep following along with Mud Ping. We'll take a look at Left 4 Dead as he's getting a little closer to the car in front, but the big problem they all face is that all of them have DRS as they go down the front straightaway on that next car. So everybody's got to be a little careful. Nobody under a huge amount of pressure here except for maybe Kitch. Espinola has mules right behind him, only 3/10 back. He could make a large dive, but Kitch actually starts to pull away from him. As I say that, Curtis has just lost a position though. Curtis has lost the position to Willie. Willie able to get the job done into the braking zone of turn 1. That puts the Haas under pressure now from Left 4 Dead. But now, it's just going to be a swappers reunion, isn't it? These two are just going to swap now. The Haas will hang out here for the rest of this lap, and then at the front straightaway, will he be able to get away? Let's take a look. He's got 9% ERS left as he burns a little bit climbing the hill. Car in front of him doesn't have much left either, only sitting on 8% is Rapid Willie in the Williams. Kids, those soft compound tires aren't really working for you like you thought they would they, buddy? All right, folks, well, I know you can't hear it, but Kitch has just told me that he is just chilling. And he's fucked it. And he's fucked it. And Noodles runs into the back of him. Commentator's curse, baby. So Espinola losing a huge amount of positions. That is very unfortunate for him. Look at the gap at the front, though. It's Rapid Relics. He's in DRS range. Can he get it done? And Josie, who's that right in front of him? He's got an Alpha Tower right in front of him. Who's that? Is that Rubric? Okay, see, now Rubric doing what you're supposed to bloody do. He's got 3 leaders right behind him. What does he do? He knows he's ghosted. But what does he do, Betsy? Betsy, take notes. What does he do, Betsy? He gets out of the damn way. Josie now 4.4 seconds behind Chris. We haven't talked about Chrissy much here lately because there hasn't been much to talk about. Chrissy's put his head down. He's been doing his job very, very well today. He couldn't quite get it done in qualifying. Started P2 for the sprint race, but was able to get the jump on Betsy and get the win in the sprint race for those few extra crucial points. And is now literally gone flag to flag so far in P1 other than the pit stops. He's just been running out here by himself, showing his pace. Look at Relics, though. He's there. He is bloody there. Coming up with 3 laps to go. He opens the DRS. Is he going to be able to get close enough? How much DRS? Oh, look at that. Josie's got a lot of DRS to hold on to. He's got a lot of DRS to defend with. He knows it's going to be hard for this car behind him to pass him anywhere other than turn 1. Number 1 driver or what, Betsy? You know what, I'm not even talking to you. I'm just so disappointed. So Relic's now 3 tenths behind Josie. Wasn't able to get close enough down the front straightaway, but it does look like he has the extra grip in this Alfa Romeo compared to the Mercedes in front. But the Mercedes in front has been doing a little bit to manage those old hard compound tires. Will he be able to take it the next 2 laps to the end? Let's take a look back up at Chrissy real quick. Chrissy actually Chrissy making his way down the corner now, down the chute. He's going to brake right around the 50-meter board. Somebody's actually taken out that 50-meter board. Somebody's been off over there, and we have not seen that. Relics is right on the back of Wales, though. Relics all over. Relics only 4 tenths behind now. Ooh, has a bit of a twitch there as they come on to the front straightaway. Let's see, can he get there on Josie? Josie's deploying. Got to put Josie under immense pressure here if he wants P2, but look at Winner. Here comes Winner. Winner going down driver's right. Oh, there's contact. Oh, and he puts Winner off over. Ooh, I don't know how I feel about that one. Winner was there. He was entitled to the space, in my opinion. I'm just looking at it on the screen right now. Really looks to me like that Alfa Romeo should have left Winner, the other Red Bull, the space into that corner. Winner was definitely entitled to it, in my opinion. Winner just lost a great opportunity to try to make an overtake to get himself back on the podium position. Look back down the pack. Noodles is all over the back of Mustang. Noodles is here. He's on 24-lap old tires. Look at the pace he has in these old tires. Rilo picks up the time penalty. I believe that's the 2nd time penalty of the day. We'll double check all the penalties after the race. Relics has had a big problem on this lap. He's going to be under huge pressure from Winner as they go down the straightaway. Luckily for the Alfa Romeo driver, he has DRS as well, but look at the pace advantage down that front straightaway the Red Bull has. Can the Red Bull get anything done? It's the final lap of the race. It looks like Chrissy's got this one in the bag. It looks like Josie is sitting onto a pretty comfortable P2, but there is nothing comfortable about P3 as Rapid Relics goes in the back end of the car going through turn 5. He gathers it back up, but now he's got a Red Bull that's going to be all over and making the run up the hill here. We're going to have to force slow by the time this is over. Somebody come to my house and get this mountain. Winner all over the back of the Alfa Romeo as they go down into this very tricky double right-hander that exits uphill. Running into the final chicane now. Can Winner do anything? He's got to set up a perfect exit here, but it looks like the Alfa Romeo gets a perfect exit, whereas Winner did not. So it looks like it's going to be Relics in Q3. Let's take a look up as our leader goes across the finish line. What a beautiful race he's conducted today. And it's going to be Chrissy winning the Imola Grand Prix. Just behind him, it's going to be Josie coming home to take P2. Relics is able to hold off Winner with a questionable move, in my opinion, that will probably be looked at after the race. But Winner actually takes it with a time penalty. Me not paying attention. Go figure. So now we got time penalties and everything coming into place. We'll go ahead and just give it a minute and wait for all of the time penalties to come into play before we go through the final order. Not much happening on track. All the drivers finishing this race now. RRT Espinal has just come through to finish. Rapid Willie has just come through to finish. W900 fan is on his way through now and that's going to be everybody except for Rupert. Rupert now making his way down the penultimate corner. But it is going to be a beautiful win by Chrissy. Chrissy in the Aston Martin had the pace today, and by God did he show it. Go ahead, chat. Let us all know what you think. How was that Imola Grand Prix? I think that might have been one of the better Imola Grand Prix I've ever seen. It started to get a little bit boring there in the middle, but that safety car definitely made the boring wait worthwhile, in my opinion. Very great racing by the boys at the front. Unfortunate to see the Div 3 driver that stepped up to Div 1 this evening, Curtis, having that issue just before the pit stop cycle. Wonder what this race could have been if he would have had that. We're going to look through. So it is Chrissy taking the win, and it's going to be Josie Wales in P2, winner P3, Relics P4, Curtis P5 with a great recovery during that safety car period. Left for dead in 6th. Hey, how about that, boys? The Div 3 guy just got P5. What are you Div 1 boys doing? What are you doing? Anyway, so Curtis P5, Left for Dead P6, Rilo P7, Betsy P8, Muckping P9, rounding out the points-paying positions with Harry Dwells in the Alpine in 10th. Rapid Rubric brings it home in 11th. Storm Hutto in the Williams in 12th. Noodles, an unfortunate day for Ferrari, not scoring any points for him. Ninja comes home in 14th, not scoring any points for Aston Martin, even though his teammate took full points this weekend. Rapid Willie in 15th. Spagnola with no practice, and it shows, finishes 16th. W900 fan finishing 17th. Kahoot not finishing at all. Darth not finishing either. Both McLarens finishing dead freaking last. So unfortunate to see that. As we try and get all of our podium finishers in the party. Dadgummit, I missed one. See if I can get him in. And as the podium drivers jump in, let's go ahead and get the chat rolling, boys. Let us know who you think in the chat was your driver of the day, and we will definitely get that out there. Let's see. I need Winner. Did Winner jump off again?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course he bloody did. Why am I not shocked? I'm tired of this dude. I don't want to see him podium anymore this year because he never comes for podium interviews. I don't know what the point is. But anyway, it was a beautiful Grand Prix that we watched today here at Imola. Chrissy with a great win. Josie Wales just looking like he didn't quite have the pace to get it done today. Unfortunately, the number 1 Red Bull driver not able to join us because he always leaves after he podiums. I don't know why, but the number 1 Red Bull driver always seems to do that. But we'll go ahead and we'll get our podium interviews underway. Josie, you had a good qualifying session, a decent sprint race. Nothing really changed for you there, but then it seemed like you were just kind of hanging out in the first stint of the Grand Prix itself. But then it just seemed like after that, Chrissy had the pace over you. What happened, mate? Did you include your audio, Josie? It says the party's being streamed, but I'm not sure. Let me take a look here. The chat's saying we'll just continue, and if they can't hear you, they can't hear you. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's fucking Twitch. Don't get on to me, Hendo, you piece of shit. You're not even here. Anyway, so Josie, since y'all can't hear him, says that he turned his wings up too high and couldn't get the pace out of the car going down the straightaways. He was fast in the corners, but that Mercedes was not any good going down the front straightaway, which unfortunately at this track, Josie, is the only damn place to really have a good overtake opportunity. So, but yeah, I mean, mistakes were made, but you'll probably do good next week, yeah? Yeah. All
All right, well, we'll move on then to our winner today, Chrissy. Absolutely beautiful, mate. We came into this season thinking that you could be a heavy hitter, and you actually absolutely showed that today, that you could be a heavy hitter. You literally led the sprint race and finished it in P1, and it's like you never looked back after that P1 in the sprint race. I swear, I don't think you ever looked back. I think you were only looking forward. Were you ever worried about the cars behind you?
Mic test, you guys can hear me?
They probably can't. I can hear you.
Yeah, I mean, the sprint race was sort of a bit back and forth between me and Betsy. He was right on me pretty well the whole time. But for the race, like, the setup I had, man, I just felt really comfortable, and I was able to kind of push the car over the curves a bit more, and, you know, honestly, I felt like I had a lot of pace in hand as well, so I think that just gave me more confidence to push, and as you saw, I just was able to pull a gap on Josie, and I could just sort of cruise there at the end, but no, I was pretty happy with that race, so, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, Benno says that he can hear y'all.
Okay.
So it must have just been an issue with Josie, I guess. That's weird. Okay, well, Chrissy, since we can hear you, I'll ask you some more questions.
Fire away.
So were you okay? Okay, so in the sprint race, right? I thought your racecraft at the restart after the safety car was absolutely sublime. That you took off out of the penultimate corner's traction zone and literally Tokyo drifted that Aston Martin all the way around the final corner onto the front straightaway. I literally caught it on stream. It was absolutely beautiful. I was just absolutely baffled that you went there because I've never seen anybody restart at that point. What made you decide to restart there? You just trying to catch everybody off?
Yeah, so Josie's been pretty damn good at his restarts so far this season. He's demonstrated that in OCE as well, so that was kind of the plan. Was I just kind of was watching the safety car as to when it entered the pits, and I just thought, you know, screw it, I'll just send it and see what happens. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of needed to change my underpants after that last corner. That was a little bit scary, but nah, that was pretty well the plan on both safety cars, and it worked. So thank God.
Yeah, I thought it was a great job done by you. So how are you feeling about next week? You think that you can carry this kind of pace on?
Look, man, yeah, I was pretty unhappy with the way I DNF'd in Australia with the wheel issue that I had. Like, technically it was my fault. Like, I should have remapped my wheel, but I sort of came in with a mindset with Imola that I just wanted to dominate. You know, I wanted to show everyone the pace that I had, and you know, I feel like I did that, and that'll sort of carry on hopefully for the rest of the season. Try and be a little bit more consistent than I have in previous seasons. So if I can do that, then yeah, it should be a good season.
Right on, mate. Well, I wish you the best of luck, you and your teammate. The best of luck throughout the rest of the season. And that's going to do it for our podium interviews. Boys, while you're still here, go ahead and make sure that you give me a like in the chat and let me know who you guys think your driver of the day was. I'm going to tell you who the driver of the day was. It was definitely that Div 3 driver that came up to race Div 1 and showed that he had the pace at Imola, Curtis. Curtis drove an amazing race, had an issue with a lat car that wouldn't get out of the way and kept bugging through him all the time, and he lost control of the car at turn 2 after the distractions. And I really feel like he could have been on the podium for this race if that wouldn't happen. He absolutely was flying, and it looked like he was going to go long and try something a little different. So unfortunate that we didn't get to see that. But I'd definitely say that Curtis, the Div 3 driver that stepped up as a reserve for Div 1, definitely deserves driver of the day today. Beautiful moves by him to get himself up to where he was in that position during the pit stop cycle. But that's probably going to do it for our broadcast today. Without Pajala here, I don't think we're going to do any sort of a post-race show. Remember, there is no spin to win today due to the fact that Pajala's not here. There will be no spin to win next week as well. But don't you worry, Pajala will be back the following week after that. Next week is the Miami Grand Prix. Correct me if I'm wrong, boys, but it is Miami, correct?
No idea.
Okay, that's what I thought. So we've got my home race next week. Not really my home race because it's not COTA, but it's in the U.S., so I'll call it home.
But we got my home race next week. It's going to be dope to see the guys out on track. I have yet to see guys of y'all's caliber out at Miami. Josie, just while you're here, would you let me know what you think about Miami? What's the biggest struggle you find at that racetrack? Yeah, under the overpass? Do you think it's a fun track to drive, or do you think it's a track that needs some revisions before F1 visits it again next year? Chrissy, what do you think
About what? Sorry, mate.
about the Miami Grand Prix racing circuit? What do you think? Does it need any sort of revisions before Formula One goes back next year, or do you think it's good the way it is?
A bit like what Josie just said, that middle chicane there, the tight left-right, and then the left-hander to go onto the straight. It's not wide enough for a Formula One car. Fair enough if you're in, GT3. Well, yeah, these ones, ground effect cars. So I think
Feels a bit Formula E to me.
if
to
they
be
were
honest.
to widen that whole section out a bit like Abu Dhabi, it would, like the old Abu Dhabi circuit, it would be good. But it's challenging. It's good. So see what happens.
All right. Well, since the two of you are in the party, you two are, really the big heavy hitters of this season so far. Who's going to win?
I think it's too close to call, dude. I think me and Josie and Betsy as well.
I hate your politically
Betsy-
correct answers. Piss
Right.
off with your politically
You-
correct answers. I
Yep.
want drama.
That's fine, but I would keep an eye on Betty because Betty is pretty damn quick. He got a bit unlucky today with that pit stop. He made the wrong call, but don't mistake him. That man's got some bloody pace. So
Yeah. Well, I think that's going to do it for today. We'd like to thank all of you for joining us for the Rapid Racing League Aussie Div 1 Round 4 here at Imola. It's been a great first sprint race weekend. Really can't wait for the next one. I'm not a huge fan of sprint races whenever I watch them live with Formula One, but I'd have to say today's was actually pretty exciting as a commentator. It was pretty fun. Gave me a lot more to do, a lot more to work on. But for all of yous that stuck around in the chat with me, Benno, Aussie Goat, Hendo, well, fuck you, Hendo, J-Rad, love you guys. We'll see y'all all next week. Remember, we'll be here at the exact same time every week for the next, who knows how long. But we will definitely be racing next week at Miami. We'll have all 20 cars on the grid for the start of the race, and it's going to be something immaculate to watch. So everybody be sure to tune in for the first time to see these Aussie Div 1 boys race around the new Miami Grand Prix circuit. And we will see you all there.